It's Madden NFL 24. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. All that and more coming up next on E.
Elliott Fry now set to do the honors, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This taken in at the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. So here the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Minnesota's new coaching staff really leaned on Cousins for leadership and production, and the longtime vet was up to the pressure. 29 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, and a 13-win season, his best as a starter. Captain Kirk, he's quietly been one of the league's most productive passers the last few seasons.
Cousins, and that's complete to K.J. Osborne. 18 more yards there and another first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation.
Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 27 yards. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And able to get this out to the 25. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And I think that even after a decade in the NFL, he doesn't get enough credit for not just his consistency, but his brilliant play and leadership as well. He's won a Super Bowl in Seattle. He's led his team to another Super Bowl opportunity also in Seattle. His numbers are always terrific, almost always in the Pro Bowl, and all his team does is win. This guy's a natural leader.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Back deep, Brandon Powell. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Open man is Osborne. It's another 1st down. That'll be a gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Addison holds it in. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line. Again, it's Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Osborne. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a game of 16. First and 10. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to be set up with a first and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Cousins to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Now Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Osborne from 6 yards away. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's Wilson to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Marcus Davenport, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third down, here's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
Here's Powell on the return.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. On the return is Powell. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. Well, you can't skip halftime on Sundays, but you can right here. So it's over, and on to the third quarter we march. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. For the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. Got to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. And this will be taken at the 13. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. That good for 22 and a 1st down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Here's Madison running on 1st down. 51 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point. And that makes the score 28-0.
Broncos, nothing.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Wilson. Sutton drilling it in on the left side. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Here's Wilson. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary has played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides.